All right, we're here. Let me just send the link just a couple people, okay? And we'll get started right away. I thank you for your patience. All right, we have sound. All right. This one. Okay, bet. All right. Let's get started. Okay, let's get started. All right, getting started. This is me getting started. All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through. We're just gonna go ahead and get right into everything. All right. So you will, well, first I like to start off with a verse of the day. All right. So you don't have to be like religious or whatever, but that's just like how I like to start my day off. So I just want to share it with you guys. So the one that I picked for today says, teach me to do your will, for you are my God. May your good spirit lead me on. And that's from Psalm 143, verse 10. And basically, I asked God to teach me to do his will. So I give him the glory of this talent to be able to come here and talk to you guys. And I'm very appreciative of everything that I do. And I thank God and I thank y'all for listening to me. All right. So let's get started. So you'll see that the title of my stream today is The Queen's Death, King Charles III and the Globalist Vision, and California Builds Back Oh So Better, right? So that's what we're going to talk about. So we're going to start off with the death of Queen Elizabeth. Let's just go into the announcement, okay? I'll pull that up. Let me share the screen with you guys. So yesterday, so this is from 13 hours ago. So Queen Elizabeth II has died. That was yesterday. And Queen Elizabeth II, UK's longest serving monarch, has died at Balmoral, age 96, after reigning for 70 years. She died peacefully on Thursday afternoon at her Scottish estate, where she had spent much of the summer. The Queen came to throne in 1952 and witnessed enormous social change. Her son, King Charles III, said the death of his beloved mother was a moment of great sadness for him and his family, and that her loss would deeply be felt around the world. Now, that is sad, I'm sure, for the family. That's the grandmom, so yes, I can imagine that it is sad. I'm not gonna go into too much of Jason Lee in February, but there was a reporter in February who had actually reported her death already, and it kind of always left the question in my mind that this would be coming soon, and here we are today. So, but and the only other thing I'm going to say about this is I understand that people have I understand people had their reservations and stuff about the monarchy and all the colonialism and everything, but I don't do the whole thing when somebody dies. I celebrate their death, unless I make one exception for that. If you were like a known child molester or something like that, I might be like, but the world is better off. You know what I mean? But because I'm God fearing, like I'm not going to get all the way into that. So I just want to show a example of when that was done yesterday. Just an example. pull up my Twitter. I'm gonna be on Twitter a lot today. We're gonna be moving fast, but I just wanted to get this kind of out the way because that is part of the news, right? So um, somebody named Leroy Ford, excuse me, Leroy Ford. Black people in England and every crown colonized country will never mourn the death of an unremorseful colonizing parasite who subjected millions of Black people to death and suffering. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not denying that certain things happened in history. I don't know the British history or whatever. I don't know it that well because I'm still working on American history. But while I don't expect Black folks to mourn her death, and I have my own reservations about the monarchy as a whole, and we're going to get into that, I still don't believe in celebrating anyone's death. I fear God, so it's not my twist. Also, I still don't believe Meghan Markle. Yeah, I never did believe Meghan Markle. So just to throw that in there. Yeah, when she went on Oprah and started boo-hooing and connecting to Black people just simply because of oppression, I was like, this borderline personality disorder having woman is lying to the crowd. But anyway, so that's all I'm gonna say about that. And we're gonna go right into King Charles III. I have to say it does have a nice little ring to it, King Charles III. I'm not even gonna front, it does. So so now her son, but I'm gonna speak on him because we have to realize what's going on here. Her son now he's in charge, King Charles. And another reason why I knew her death was coming soon was because I've been watching the monarchy lately very closely. Not just the gossip drama of Harry and Meghan, which I never talk about on his channel because I'm like, this channel's not supposed to be for that, right? But I still find it like just the narcissism that these two embody together. I'm like, these two are made for each other, for real. But anyway, but I had been paying close attention to Charles because he started saying things from last year, like, the monarchy needs to start being more involved in, what's going on in the world. And, we've been taking a back seat for too long. And now we need to start really discussing like world issues and showing our faces and not just necessarily being just like a waving, like just people who wave like a picture, you could say, in a time of trouble. Of course, with COVID-19, with COOF, that made him feel, he says that's what makes him feel like they should be more in the public eye. Okay. And so now, so he started saying that like a lot last year. And then he started going around to his like family and stuff and letting them know, like, we're going to start minimizing the amount of people that's in the monarchy, like all these extra cousins and aunts and stuff working, like we're going to start kind of tapering off some of this. I don't know exactly what that means, if like the taxpayers are still going to pay their salary or what, but we're going to start seeing, I guess, less of them. We're going to have like a focus on certain people in the family, making sure that that they're doing their part, and I guess just having their presence felt, especially in a time of change, and reset. And so that's what brings me to King Charles and the globalist vision. It brings me to, hold on, let me make sure my sound is still good. All right, it is, because I hit the mic. Anyway, so that's what brings me to King Charles and the globalist vision, because King Charles is the Great Reset. Okay, what is the Great Reset? I'm not going to stay too long on this subject because I don't like when YouTube puts a banner on my stuff like, oh, but go to this site for the real information about the Great Reset, some conspiracy. Like, I don't have time for that. Like, you don't have to put a banner on my stuff, because I always make sure to give the real information. So I just hate it. I think it looks really bad. But I want to share with you guys. First, we need to discuss first, like, what the Great Reset is. So hold on. Some dumb shit just happened here. Hold on. Sorry for cursing. Pulling that up. I'll share the screen with y'all again. All right. So this is from the World Economic Forum. Okay. And we're going to leave this up. I don't like touching this. I don't know why, because it doesn't matter. They're going to do whatever they want to do anyway. So we're going to read a little bit. This is the World Economic Forum is those globalist, big globalist groups, you know, the World Economic Forum, the WHO, the United Nations, all, a bunch of stuff that we thought was supposed to like help people. But then when you get older, you find out like, hey, wait a second. I don't think that's really helping you. Like, I don't think, you know, you sound good, but I'm not sure if you really sound that good. So hold on. So let's introduce y'all to that first. All right, the context. The reason for the Great Reset, the COVID crisis and the political, economic, and social disruption it has caused is fundamentally changing the traditional context for decision making. The inconsistencies, inadequacies, and contraindications of multiple systems from health and financial to energy and education are more exposed than ever amidst a global context of concern for lives, livelihoods, and the planet. Leaders find themselves at historic crossroads, managing short-term pressures against medium and long-term uncertainties. As we enter the opportunity, let me just reject these cookies, it doesn't matter. As we enter a unique window of opportunity to shape the recovery, this initiative will offer insight to help inform all those determining the future state of global relations, the direction of national economies, the priorities of societies, the nature of business models, and management of global commons, drawing from the vision and vast expertise of the leaders engaged across the forum's community. The Great Reset Initiative has a set of dimensions to build a new social contract that honors the dignity of every human being. Now, all that sounds good, right? So let's first talk about it in a sense of like, where I'm not just gonna attack what they're saying here, okay? Because when you do that, we do have problems, right? The coup did show that there's a lot of unorganization and inconsistencies. He's absolutely right. The CDC, the CDC and the NIH are all NIAID, public health departments. You just hear that. I hear it all the time. Nobody's nobody is coordinating these things together. They're not sounding the same. One department is saying this, another department is saying that, and nobody is taking any accountability. It seemed very chaotic, right? But when you hear them say so basically they're saying we have to find a way as leaders to bring solutions to this problem. So to me, if I were a person who wanted to solve the issue of there's a lot of chiefs, you know what I'm saying, and not enough Indians, if you will. If I wanted to solve that problem, what I would do is slice off some of the chiefs. Yeah, we don't, all these agencies, it's too many. That's why we're not in accordance, right? So let's slice off we need a couple, right? Slice it off. That's what I would do. It's just too much. And keep it small, a small amount of people. Now, when I'm interviewing people, I need to know, I need to give you scenarios and see what your decision-making skills have. Like, what are they made of? Are they made of you trying to be a hero? Or are they made of real solutions that may not sound so friendly, but they're real solutions, okay? Because you have solutions that don't sound friendly and they're not real solutions, like lockdowns. Lockdowns was never gonna work. How did anybody think, everybody stay home, stay safe? First of all, that sounds so, it sounds so like Orwellian. Stay home, stay safe. Stay safe. Make sure you stay safe out there, stay safe. What do you mean? These germs have been here. They've been here and we were locked down. We were locked down because we wanted to slow the spread. That was never going to happen. The only way that works is if you lock people like where they are, lock them down now. They have to stay where they are now. So the hospital team that's in there, you are not going to be able to go home. You have to stay there too. And whoever's dying has to die. And we can't take this body out and bury it yet, because we need to capture all the sickness and let it burn out and die out. like that. It was never going to work. Then that would have meant like food would have had to been coming to you in drones, coming falling from the sky and then like landing on your doorstep, and you had to hurry up and quick get it. Yeah, because they were saying they didn't want us around each other so we didn't get sick and germs wouldn't be passing through. You know what I mean? I'm going off on a whole nother. I'm gonna come right back. I'm coming back, but I'm just giving you the example. That's why the minute they said 2 weeks to slow the spread, I was like, this does not make any sense to me. It doesn't work. You're not going to slow anything down. You're not, you know why? Because I keep getting up and going to work. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to slow anything down. People are still going outside. So what was it all about? Anyway, so now we have a small group of people who are extremely rich, who are extremely powerful. Okay. I have no disrespect with somebody who has money, get as much money as you want, but the powerful people who don't know how we live, us people who are happy with our ambition to get up and do something with ourselves, we like that. It makes us feel good. Excuse me. To start a business or to accomplish a training, and now we are an apprentice, plumber, and you know, now we're driving these trucks and we're making the infrastructure of the nation continue to move. That makes us feel good, and we're providing for our families. Yeah, they don't know how that feels. So what? Now they just tell you, well, we're gonna make decisions for you because it's too much for you to do. There's a lot going on, and it's a lot for you to maneuver around. You're not gonna know what to do. That's a lie. That's a lie. But we're gonna make those decisions for you in an equitable manner. You know what I'm saying? And in the meantime, we're gonna reset. And you don't have to own all this stuff and making all these decisions, okay? It's a lie. You wake up in the morning, you got to figure out all this stuff with your business and everything. And then now there's a pandemic. Hey, listen, why don't we just take it away? And then we'll help you out and you will own nothing and you'll be happy. This is not a conspiracy. This is really what it is. And so when I found out that this lady died, I said, okay, King Charles is about to get it popping with the Great Reset. What I didn't know was that King Charles was he wasn't just a co-creator of the Great Reset. He was the Great Reset. Like he came up with the Great Reset. I didn't know that. I knew he was a part of it, but I did not know he created the Great Reset. I was watching Redacted on YouTube. Redacted, very well done news. I mean, these people are already, placed perfectly on YouTube, and they talk about everything. And he said it. He was like, people think that it's Klaus Schwab who started the Great Reset, but this was King Charles. This was his idea. Okay, and so now here we are. He is saying we need to have a public figure in all these decisions, and we need to be more out in the public, representing, talking about things that are going on. And then now's the time for the Great Reset. And I want you to hear a little bit of this speech that he put us up privy to. Hold on a second. The speech he made in 2021. Let me see if hold on, my bad. All right, I have to share this now. And we're gonna listen to the speech. It was like minute 2 point, like I'm gonna skip over to a little bit of it, but we're gonna hear a little bit of him. This was in 2021. Speech gave me chills.
Just how devastating a global cross-border threat can be. Climate change and biodiversity loss are no different. In fact, they pose an even greater existential threat, to the extent that we have to put ourselves on what might be called a warlike footing. Having myself had the opportunity of consulting many of you over these past 18 months, I know you all carry a heavy burden on your shoulders, and you do not need me to tell you that the eyes and hopes of the world are upon you, to act with all dispatch and deciding in parallel. The scale and...
He's going to talk about us going into this climate change situation and looking at it as something very so detrimental. We must save the planet. And we have to look at it as a war on, like a war for survival, you can say.
The scope of the threat we face call for a global systems-level solution based on radically transforming our current fossil fuel-based economy to one that is...
Okay, so remember, also we must remember so now the Great Reset is moving on from COOF to the climate is the issue. These people are already telling you that the climate, we're going to have to tackle climate change issues because we have to survive. And the culprit to our survival, one of the weapons, in our survival that's been used against us is fossil fuels.
Genuinely renewable and sustainable. So, ladies and gentlemen, my plea today is for countries to come together to create the environment that enables every sector of industry to take the action required. We know this will take trillions, not billions of dollars. We also know that countries, many of whom are burdened by growing levels of debt, simply cannot afford to go green. Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector, with trillions at its disposal, far beyond global GDP, and with the greatest respect, beyond even the governments of the world's leaders. It offers the only real prospect of achieving fundamental economic transition.
So when you hear these people say, we're going to have military-style campaigning, it sounds, a person with a good heart. Like, all right, I always tell my best friend, I love her. She has a good heart. So she'd be like, but why would somebody want to do, she doesn't doubt that it's happening, but she's like, but why would somebody, like, why would they say that? Why? And so I say to her, I'm like, the only way to really understand what these people are saying to you is to first remove your heart and get down in the midst of darkness and then listen to them again. Listen, this is what it is. I'm giving you the information that this guy has started this Great Reset, okay? And maybe he means well, but remember, if you're fighting for survival, everything has to be done. We have to do everything because we have to save ourselves, right? And did y'all catch Boris Johnson? Boris Johnson always has this look. Let me just, damn, I don't know if y'all caught him. Boris Johnson always has this look of like, yeah, there he is. I just want y'all to see his face. Like, why does he always look? This is from last year. He's not the prime minister no more. It's like, I don't know. And he's looking right into the camera. Everybody else is listening to Charles, and he's like looking right into it. Anyway, so I want you to hear just a little bit more. Yeah, sometimes I laugh about things like this. You just gotta laugh at these people. Like, these are the people that's gonna tell you, we're gonna save you. They can't even do their hair in the morning. All right, God forgive.
Without the goalpost suddenly moving. This is the framework I've offered in the Terracotta Roadmap created by my Sustainable Markets Initiative, with nearly 100 specific actions for acceleration. Together, we are working to drive trillions of dollars in support of transition across 10 of the most emitting and polluting industries. They include energy, agriculture, transportation, health systems, and fashion. The reality of today's global supply chains means... So, stop the share. I'm going to stop right there. If you ever get a chance to look at it, that was his speech in 2021 when he was talking to COP26 about, we need to start spearheading this climate change issue and the global reset, climate change. That's all you guys been hearing about is climate change. They don't even call summer anymore. I saw a report saying, hey guys,
Fall is upon us. Climate change is leaving, but it'll be back next year. It's called summer. It comes every year. It's called summer, you know? So hold on, sorry. Hope y'all ain't hear that go. Anyway, so he says we're gonna put trillions of dollars in. Yes. And before I fast forward, we have America, the United States of America, that Inflation Reduction Act is just a supercharged money spending on this climate change issue. All right. And he talks about all the sectors that are giving the worst problems with all this climate change problems, that are the worst culprits. And you notice they say agriculture. Apparently, on Redacted yesterday, they said that there is a farm in somewhere in the UK anyway that had however much livestock. They're putting money in to kill the livestock. I've talked about this before. All right. And I have descriptions on the description of this live stream some of the videos I've made about the Inflation Reduction Act, killing the cows. We'll get there. All right. So, okay. So his speech, he wants to talk about we have to, get rid of fossil fuels. Excuse me. I have seen this push for getting rid of fossil fuels just magnify. And it's not what people think. People think, yeah, we have to save the planet and go green. So we just use electricity, okay? And we won't emit a bunch of gases into the air, right? No, you need fossil fuels still to power the grid. That's going to give you all this electric utopia that you think that you're going to be and that you're not even going to be able to power, okay? These people are funding, and you have all these little agencies that get involved in it, right? The government, wherever you are, puts out a certain amount of money to find new ways of energy, okay? And then you have these small agencies who come and they take these subsidies and say, yeah, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. We'll figure it out. Give me more money. Knowing damn well they can't figure nothing out. They can't, because you can't substitute a real sustainable energy called fossil fuels, called drilling, right? So what ends up happening is, in order to get this lithium for the batteries or whatever, you still have to power it with fossil fuels. So now you still running the fossil fuels, and then you're making more degradation into the land. Okay. So, and I just want to show you a picture of what this whole thing about, oh, we're gonna, fossil fuels, and we're gonna get rid of fossil fuels, like what that really looks like when you say you're going to get rid of fossil fuels. So, okay, they want you to have electric powered cars. So you need lithium. Have you ever seen what it looks like to mine lithium? This is what it looks like. Okay. They have this around the world. Okay. This is like the lithium lakes, you might as well call them. Like, after they mine them, they just have them there. And then, like, I don't know how they move it around or whatever. Or you have to dig big holes into the ground. Dig big holes into the ground in order to get the lithium. Tell me how that's helping the planet. Tell me how that's helping the planet. There's a bunch of degradation of digging holes, right? Also, in order to get to that lithium, you got to cut down. You see what's around us here? This wasn't an area that all of a sudden was just empty and they came and started drilling deep within. There's trees here. They got to cut down all these trees. They got to cut all that down in order to dig into the land, right? So we're getting rid of trees. Are very important. Plants are important. They help with our oxygen, right? Photosynthesis. I never forgot learning about that in elementary school. Now you're getting rid of all these trees. I thought that was a problem. So I remember when I was a little girl and they were cutting down the Amazon rainforest. That was like a big deal. But guess what? They're doing it now. And they say it's to help with fossil fuel, to get rid of fossil fuels. And this is biomass burning. They're burning wood because this plan that they have is not working. So now they have to burn wood. And hold on. So there is this, and I'm not even giving it the full respect that it deserves, because I can't explain it in full detail because this isn't really my area, but I'm learning more and more about it. But There is a documentary that I put the link in the description, and I want y'all to watch it if you ever get a chance. It's called Planet of the Humans. Okay. You should watch it. This was a documentary. It was done by Jeff Gibbs, and he did this documentary, but Michael Moore had backed this documentary up, not knowing what it was about. So he had his name all over it. And when it came out, you had a bunch of leftists getting mad at him, agencies, because it talked about a lot of Democrats who, for the most part, yes, because they really believe in this climate change stuff. That's part of Democratic policy, energy saving. It's been forever. This isn't new, but now they're ramping it up. Who are mad because this guy put them out there like, yo, they just making big money off of this dream, and there's no real solution. And this guy, Jeff Gibb, is not me. He's not like me, who's already coming into the game like, it's not going to work. Don't do it. Leave it alone. No, he wanted it to work. He was all about it. Like, yo, man, we need to save the planet. What a big task to take on. But anyway, and so when he's doing this documentary, it's like you can see the discouraging feeling when he's like, yo, none of this stuff isn't going to work. Not only is it not working, it's destroying the planet. Not only is it destroying the planet, the rich are still getting richer, and they know it's not going to work. Sadly, I was sad to see Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in this documentary being part of one of the agencies that was, gonna do this green initiative. But that's what I mean about people. I'm gonna get to that. People are not perfect, so I was sad to see him in there, but people aren't perfect. He's really good when it comes to the jab and children, but he's an environmental lawyer, so I don't know what he was thinking. Whatever. I'm not here to discuss his morals and feelings about certain things. Maybe people really feel like they can save the planet. You can't. Not like that. We should discuss saving the planet with keeping your area clean and learning how to farm, to really turn soil, to really be a part of the ecosystem that is already set up in this planet. Okay. That's how I feel. But trying to switch up a bunch of energy and they know it's not going to work, but you know what they get out of it is to be able to control you. That's what it is. Because when you let go of all of your own sustaining, like drilling at home, oil, natural gases, when you let go of that, and then you adopt these materials that aren't going to sustain you, what happens? You become a slave to the situation. Let's just call it what it is. You do. Because now you have in Europe, now King Charles is up now, so that's about King Charles. He's going to ramp this up. He's going to ramp all this energy transitioning. This transition is so important. Well, let's see what this transition is doing to Germany and Europe already. But let's just see. You have Europe talking about, well, I just want you to see what they were saying. I'll explain to you what's going on. This is
because in these peak demands, the expensive gas comes into the market. So what we have to do is flatten the curve and avoid the peak demands. We will propose a mandatory target for reducing electricity use at peak hours, and we will work very closely with the member states to achieve this.
We have to reduce electricity use at peak hours, and we'll work with the mandatory agencies to achieve this. That means that they're going to shut your electric off. This is in the EU, Europe, and what happened is they let go of their sustaining energy for all of this new Green New Deal type stuff, and now this lady is telling you that because of the war that's going on over in Ukraine, everybody will say Putin's a bad guy. He's keeping the gas from the people. Listen. Y'all have sanctioned this man's gas. Y'all keep trying to put caps on it. Y'all done everything which way, whatever, in order for him not to be able to, give y'all gas out of some sick moral code, right? That is causing destruction for the citizens of your, in your countries. And then they'll say it's his fault, oh, he didn't give us the gas. No, y'all didn't want it. So Here, I'm not going to give it then if y'all don't want it, right? But you didn't have the energy to sustain this nonsense. Excuse me, you didn't. And now you're begging other countries to produce more oil, and they're not. In fact, OPEC said that we're going to produce a little less. Okay. So, sorry, guys. So, that being said, so this is where they're at with it, because they don't. So if you were running 100 houses on a grid that was running at 100% because you had the very big deal fossil fuels powering that grid, and now you get rid of it, but you have just like a little bit left, and then you're trying to power it with wind and all kinds of water, you know, stuff like that. So now you had 25%. You still have those 100 houses. They are predicting that Europe is going to be basically right back in the dark ages. I mean, these people are already cutting down wood and burning it for fuel. So this is what we call it, biomass burning, and it's going to help sustain energy for houses. No, you're cutting wood and you're burning it. There's no special name for it. Okay, you're back to stove. Put the logs and all that in the stove, and you're back to that. Y'all are getting coal. They gotta go get coal. Like y'all, that's what y'all back to. Don't give it a special name. Okay, and you did this to yourself. And this is the type of stuff that they have signed on to here in America. And in fact, we were supposed to be right there with them already, but we're 4 years behind. I always tell people we're 4 years behind. Thank God. But we're going to supercharge it here. And if you don't believe me, you see California. So now we're moving to our next part of this live, and we're talking about California. And before I get there, I want to thank everybody who's watching. Thank you for coming on. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, and even if you're watching the recording, please hit subscribe. Please hit the like. Okay. So before I get into California, let me just discuss the reason why I beg for hitting the like and hit subscribe is because the censorship is so real. It's so real. People who are getting their channels banned on YouTube, they're not talking about proof jabs. They're talking about hold on, sorry, y'all. They're not talking about coof jabs. They're talking about regular stuff like mass shootings, or they're giving out real information. They don't want y'all to know what's really going on out here. They want y'all to believe everything is okay. And I'm not saying everything is in full steam, terrible, destruction, but we're ramping it up to be that way. And so they want you guys to think you guys are doing fine. And then you wake up one day and it's like, whoa, what happened? Oh, then they could blame it on anything else. Well, it was Putin, right? No. People are getting their channels banned. I'm suppressed. That's a fact. Everywhere I go, I'm suppressed. It's okay. I'm going to beat it. And I beat it with you guys' help. I thank you for watching. I thank you for everything that you do. So just wanted to say that. All right. So let's get right back into it. Now, I want to show you guys a tweet that I tweeted out that is really moving about. I appreciate that. Everybody keeps retweeting this joint like, yo, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all got eyes on this. Like, but I said, I see California is on the road to build back better. The doctrine is written for USA. I will never stop reminding people that Build Back Better started with Haiti, and it was anything but. It was a money laundering scheme hidden with cheap infrastructure and energy rationing. So I want to just pull up a real quick article about Build Back Better Haiti. So in 2010, there was this horrendous earthquake in Haiti. That, I mean, it was I to this day I'm like, I swear a bomb must have went off around Haiti. And people say, Haiti sits on the plate and it can have a earthquake. I didn't say it couldn't. I'm just saying I still don't understand what happened. Mad people died. I lost family. I lost a lot of family. It was sad. The people of Haiti are so strong. They're so strong. I remember there was this report of an older woman who was in her 80s and she was stuck under all this rubble and she was still alive and they were calling her and they were like, are you still okay or still down there? And she was like, yes, I'm still down here. She was like, praise God, I'm still alive. I praise the Lord. Glory to God, I'm alive. And she was singing hymns and, like just the force of her faith. I was like she had a building on her back. Sis was like, gloire Dieu. I'm now you're gonna hear the Creole. Gloire Dieu, merci bon Dieu, la Satan pas prend moi, merci bon Dieu. Like I'm like, yo, that's like me, I get like a headache after a long day, and I'm like, I need a mental health day. But anyway, it's like, like I mean, my God. Anyway, so people are so strong. And we saw all of this, you know how it is. You see the devastations and disasters. So what does it do? It pulls at your heartstrings. And then what happened? We need you to donate money. Donate money. People donated money. And the Clinton Foundation went out there and they said they were going to build back better Haiti. Okay. I'm going to read a little bit to you about Build Back Better. I got to find it. I'm not gonna. So, okay. Where did the Build Back Better mantra go? So, but above all, Haitians needs to okay, rebuilding efforts achieve success only when designed and implemented by Haitians. Who was saying this? Probably was Rene Preval. Yes. All right. So, anyway, where did the Build Back Better mantra go? Back in 2010, the Build Back Better mantra dominated the conversation. Eager to seize the opportunity to implement massive changes, politicians and UN personnel pushed to rebuild far beyond the capital of Port-au-Prince and the city of Jacmel and to transform Haiti. And while transformation in the country was with significant poverty and corruption seems like a noble goal, it was fundamentally unsuccessful because Haitians had no control over their own future. They didn't. You want to talk about a country that has no control? They don't even have an army. Okay, so anybody gets ready to go in there and they do whatever they want. Okay. Rather than interagency commission led by Haiti's international, an interagency commission led by Haiti's international donors, United States and France, was created to oversee the rebuilding process, despite the opposition of the outgoing president, Rene Preval. And the military occupation of the country by UN troops funded mostly by the United States and France continues without a timetable to end. They're not there anymore, by the way. They're not. This article is actually from 2013. Haiti is not alone in its future to build back better. Now, this is what I just learned yesterday. In fact, that slogan originated during the reconstruction process in areas affected by the 2005 tsunami in South Asia. Like the political formulae in Haiti, captained by President Clinton as the UN Special Envoy, South Asia's plan consisted in creating interagency commissions to coordinate the different humanitarian aid and reconstruction efforts. In Sri Lanka and Indonesia, several articles provide account showing a lack of coordination between agencies and poor quality of new built homes by international agencies. All right, we're gonna just hold on. I just want y'all to see what hold on. I want y'all to see a little bit of what Haiti looks like, which it's a shame. It's a beautiful country, but when it comes to infrastructure, there is none. There's no infrastructure in Haiti. They're showing you all these, like, this is the, like, hold on. I'm saying like, hold on. Yeah. See if I can get in here. I think my picture is in the way of this here picture. I might be. Mm. Take it on my nerves. Like, all right, I just want y'all to see this. Yeah, like this is what happens. Like, and they'll say like it's because of the earthquake. Like, yeah, but no, there's still buildings like this. Like these buildings weren't rebuilt, and people still live in tents in Haiti. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you drive by buildings and they're like crumbling. And I remember thinking like, yo, man, why are these buildings crumbling like this? Like what is going on? Like this is crazy, you know? And I left Haiti. I visited Haiti in 2019, and so I don't want y'all to have this. I want to wait. I'm gonna go back and find another image because I want y'all to see another thing that happens in Haiti now. It's called energy rationing, and and how we are on our way, like we are. You know, this is just some images of like here. What you have is like gas, propane. You know, like they don't have. There's no energy in Haiti. You know what I'm saying? So another thing that happened when I was out there visiting is 2019. We had these orders. Like I was at hotels, nice hotels, right? Because I work in America. So the money that I make here, over there, you could live like, you know, if everything was under control, you could live like a queen. So I was in very nice hotels that were saying, okay, between the hours of 12 midnight and 5 a.m., we're going to shut off the electricity because we have to sustain electricity. We're running on a generator. Excuse me. We're running on a generator because the government has not given electricity. So we'll have to turn it off. So you're not going to be able to get on, you're not going to be able to get on, uh, or you know, on the air conditioning and stuff like that. Like all that stuff is going off. We have to turn it off because our generator is not going to continue to run. We don't even have gas in the country. That was the other thing. We don't have gas in the country. Okay, to even power the generators. So the little bit that we have to conserve it. Right? What kind of way is this? Okay, so I remember being like, what the heck is that? Oh, man. And it's a shame. I was acting like a spoiled brat, but was I really like, I'm not used to that. Right. So I was like, yo, like, what? Like, I paid money to stay at this hotel. You know, I got this, like, this, by the way, I was not the person I am today. You know, I was a good person, but I was young, you know, a little like, it wasn't that long ago, but I didn't realize what the world was really made of. I did a little bit, but not quite. But anyway, I was like, this is crazy. Like, and I wasn't looking down on the people of the country. I just want to make that clear. I actually felt very bad. But I was going off. I'm like, this is like Survivor Island right now. Like, I came here for a good time. Like, and this is Survivor Island. I was like, this is insanity. And I had an Asian even tell me, like, well, I'd rather be here than America. And I'm like, are you crazy? I'm like, my country, we turn on the lights, we pay the bill, and we turn the light on. This could never happen in America. 2019, right? Who's the president, right? I didn't, you know, gas was low. It couldn't back then, right? Anyway, but I don't want to leave you with these thoughts of Haiti because Haiti is such a beautiful country. So I just want you to see like Haiti waterfalls and stuff. I just because it's so beautiful, but the infrastructure. I mean, like this is, I mean, just like beautiful. I mean, like just, I mean, of course, there's here we go. We always got to get involved. Um, Bassin Bleu, you know, all this. I mean, like Jacques Mel. I mean, just gorgeous. The vegetation, the land is absolutely beautiful. But the infrastructure has Bassin Bleu is like the best Haiti waterfall. I just want to share that. All right, like this is real. This is real out there. But I tried to get to Jacmel to get to some of these waterfalls, but there was too much demonstration and riding in the land, so they would shut down the main highway to get you to these kind of places. All right. And we are on our way to this here. Let me go back and share. You guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I have to keep thanking y'all for watching because you guys are so amazing, right? All right. So we're on our way to this here. You have to hold on. excuse me. I looked again last week, and California was talking about, energy alerts. You know what I'm saying? We need you to not use your major appliances between this hour and that hour. We a level 3 grid emergency. Um, the California Independent System Operator is alerting Californians to be ready for potential rotating power outages on Tuesday evening as the hottest weather of the historic heat wave is forecast to push electricity demand to an all-time high. Yeah, because y'all are moving away from the sustainable fossil fuels. California has started moving away from that stuff. I mean, and they also said by 2035, that they don't want any gas-powered cars in California, but you don't even have the grid to charge the electric cars that you have now. The little bit you have now, because not everybody has an electric car in California, I'm sure. And so here we are, generators. This is Haiti. It's like, I see it because I've seen it. I'm familiar to when it's coming now. I'm seeing things here that I never thought I would see. We're talking about rationing energy. We're talking because the grid is overloaded. And so right now, what happens is right now they'll start and they'll give you a choice like, hey guys, you know what? We need to kind of calm down with this energy grid. So why don't you just shut down the lights and stuff from 7 to 9 p.m. They give you a choice. But how do they know that you're shutting it off? Because I know I would not be like, I'm not shutting nothing off. Okay. I'm not. I'm going to do the best I can, but I'm not because I have things to do. I can't do it. You know what I mean? In the heat, So maybe next year, hey guys, we're going to turn it off. We got to turn it off. We got to sustain the electric, How long before, hey guys, all right, where's your ticket for your monthly electricity? Because the government is rationing out. How long before all that? We are ramping up to be like all these other countries that it's not just Haiti too, but it's just because I saw that with my own eyes. We're ramping up to become like these other countries that are not energy independent. I never realized how important energy was because it was so disposable at my whim to just turn a light on and to do whatever because I had paid my bill. That's all I figured. The only time you can take my electricity from me is if I don't pay my bill. But these people are telling you like, yo, they're using cheaper made products. They're getting rid of fossil fuels. That's what they want to do. This is the transition, right? And they're going to tell you when you're allowed to use your electricity. This is more removal of freedom. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. And some people will say, I have no problem with my electric car. I get to go wherever I want to. Yo, I'm a chick who will get in my Ford and drive 5 hours to Massachusetts because I want to go just have a weekend in Massachusetts or maybe I want to, sorry, y'all. Or maybe I want to, maybe I want to go ahead and meet up with somebody, or maybe I want to tape something or whatever. This is like, I'm sorry, hold on. We are going to talk about this guy too, by the way. That's what I like to do. You can't do that when one of these just get up and go like that. How long does it take to charge? People say, oh, it works itself out. No, I don't like being shackled down to anything. I don't. Oh, you're just a spoiled little brat. Well, maybe I am, but I'm an American. Like, yeah, call it what you want, but that's how they look at us. They say the global movement. The global movement looks at America like you're spoiled and you're privileged, right? And to a sense, we are. No matter how much people will say, no, but I live in poverty, and and I'm not getting into everybody's pockets, but I told you, you pay your bills, your lights will come on. You don't know what it's like to wait for the government to give you electricity and food and gas and everything else. You don't want to know what it's like. I didn't. When I was out there, I was saying to people like, yo, man, y'all strong. Y'all are real strong because Americans would be dead in 2 weeks. Me too. I'm not looking down on the people who's going through this. So you have where is she at? I know that I put this on here. Where is she at? Janet Yellen. saying freak. Y'all see what I just be like, okay, everything. Here we go.
Powered by the Inflation Reduction Act.
This is the Secretary of Treasury. First of all, I don't even know why she's talking about energy stuff or whatever. I guess the money or who knows.
Our plan, powered by the Inflation Reduction Act, represents the largest investment in fighting climate change in our country's history. And it will put us well on our way toward a future where we depend on the wind, the sun, and other clean sources of energy.
Stop it right there. I mean, it's like, I laugh. You know why I laugh? Because like it sounds like a fairy tale. This old lady is telling, listen, she's not worried. She knows she got like it. I'm not putting years on people's lives and taking away years. She like, I got about 5 good years, man. I ain't gonna suffer. She said, we're gonna get rid of fossil fuels. We're gonna use the wind and the sun. What are we gonna? This feels like some worship to the elements of the lands, right? We're gonna get rid of those fossil fuels, and we're gonna use the wind and the sun. I want you to hear that again. You're gonna power your car with the sun and the wind. This is serious, yo. The American people are under attack by their own government. I'm sorry. There's nothing else to say about it. What can I call it? What can I say? And she's right. The Inflation Reduction Act, you know what I mean? It paired it. It's supercharging this wind and sun and heat, wind and sun. Yes, that's how we're gonna, man, this is exciting. Let's get rid of what we know works and then rely on the wind and the sun. And I know there's somebody who would say to me, well, Casey, but you say you believe in God, so God made the wind and the sun, right? And he also gave us the energy in the oil, in the dirt, in the ground that we are supposed to use. Now, I'm not saying just drill it in a very irresponsible manner. I would never say that. I wouldn't. But he gave us what we needed. And as long as we did it responsibly, we'd be fine. He knows that there's not enough wind. That's how I think as a Christian. We were already set up with all that we needed. I'm not saying don't look into other things to sometimes offset. But this whole, we're going to rid ourselves of fossil fuels, man. We are, because again, it always goes down to reducing the carbon footprint. And when they keep saying reducing the carbon footprint is reducing you. You are the major component of carbon footprint. You are already made of mostly carbon, again. And then on top of that, you keep farting and peeing, you are making most of the greenhouse gases. So I put in my in this description to the 2 videos that I made. So in the description, you'll find the Planet of the Humans link. It's a free documentary on YouTube. I don't know for how long. I'm saying YouTube is going to find out like, oh, more people have been watching this. They're finding out. They'll take it down. Yes, they will. Okay. I put the description for Pipe Dreams. That's my episode about how they're going to capture the carbon in the air and they're going to put it underground and then we're going to use it for energy. I really wonder what carbon are you really capturing and putting it underground, whatever. And then I put the other video in there about killing the cows because we need to get rid of greenhouse gases. And in the end, they tell you, you are the major component. You are the major reason for greenhouse gases, but they need to reduce the carbon footprint. These people have a obsession with population control, but they can't tell you that they're trying to control the population, because then you'll be like, well, where do I fit in this metric, right? You'll start asking questions. So then they'll call it reducing carbon footprint. That, right? It's we need to reduce the carbon footprint. Meanwhile, and then you're fighting for your own demise. I'm over it. I know how they talk. Yeah. I pay attention to what they say. So now, to wrap that up and to kind of even go into just the calamity, we're going to bring it down and we're going to get a little bit more local. Sorry. So Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please hit subscribe and like and share. You guys comment too. I haven't seen any comments, but I know that people are watching. If you can comment, if you can't comment, that's fine. That's fine. And I thank y'all for everything. So it is not only this whole deal of resetting, you have to want it, right? And you have some people who do want it. They resetting everything. So you have to be placed into a position where you're in so much despair that you say, I need help. I need help. So this is how we cause the problems, and then we give you the solutions. First off, America is involved in a global equity that I don't think y'all really realize how bad it is yet. I should have put in my description my episode I made for Welcome to Global Equity. Okay. I'm going back to my bookmarks again. I want y'all to listen to this. Oh, I hate when this thing does this. Finally get to what you're looking for.
It's been said, but it's worth reiterating, that the governors of Texas and Arizona have created this crisis. And the federal government has not stepped up to assist the District of Columbia. So we, along with our regional partners, will do what we've always done. We'll rise to the occasion. We've learned from border towns like El Paso and Brownsville. And in many ways, the governors of Texas and Arizona have turned us into a border town. We don't know how long this will take to resolve. We don't know how long they will continue busing. And so the right thing to do here is to be prepared to ensure we can greet every bus. We can get people off on the right foot. We can get them where they want to go. And that will ultimately help them.
Using your tax dollars. Okay. So what she's complaining about, how dare she, is the fact that Texas and Arizona has been sending the illegal immigrants who are flooding into these states. They're sending them further up north to places like Chicago or Washington, D.C. And they're mad. They're turning us into a border town. It's their fault. No, it is your Biden administration fault. Okay. I was looking for the numbers to pull up. I will say I did not find the numbers to pull. It's not that they don't exist. I just, I didn't find them on the fly. But, Joe Biden, when he was running, guys, like, you got to sift through what these people are saying, but they tell you what they're going to do. He said, we're going to open these borders, okay? They're going to come in, they're going to get free health insurance. And that is really happening. Last year in 2021, we took in 2 million illegal immigrants, okay? This year, we're set to take in 3 million. Where are they going to go? So they were supposed to all stay in Texas and Arizona. But this is all part of global equity, you see? It's all part of global equity. While we're taking them in at the border, last year we took in a bunch of Afghan refugees, you know what I'm saying? And then we're taking in Ukrainian refugees. We're just taking everybody in. Because America, you're privileged. You're privileged, right? And you have to help. And these are the people, you see these people when they say, well, we have enough here, we could share. No, we don't. Not in this capacity. I believe in immigration. I believe in migration. Of course I do. God bless my parents for coming here. I thank them. Okay. I'm first generation American. So of course I believe in that, but I do not believe in 3 million people, child traffickers, terrorists, fentanyl, and everything else coming through that border. I don't believe in that. I don't. It's coming through the border. Also, so it's called an invasion of your home. Imagine you open your doors and 500 people try to come in your house. What are you going to do? You're going to get the heck out, right? Well, that's what's happening here. You just don't see it, but you will. You will. Excuse me. After a while, millions, they're gonna show themselves. They're gonna show themselves near you. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Okay. For those who don't want to believe that this is an issue, this is an issue. Okay. And we're just like we are purging our American way by flooding in a bunch of people from many different countries who don't know the American way. Okay. more than that, it's a threat. It's a threat. And to be very candid, like transparency, when I worked in that refugee camp, I knew I was looking at Taliban. I was like, oh, these people came in here. Whoa, what was the vetting process? There was no vetting process. There was none. And then a year later, you see people like, well, we might not have vetted them too good. I know you didn't. I stared at them. I looked right at them. You know what I'm saying? When I would say hello to them and stuff, shalom, they would look at me like, girl, bye. I don't want to say hi to you. I'm angry. Okay, whatever. Coming in. It's in. So you have that going on. And then there's this lawlessness that is happening that is, we must talk about it. Everything is connected. It has to all be connected. And it comes down close to your homes. All right. So I'm trying to like not get too big, but we're also wrapping up to like a lot of stuff that happened this week. And so, you know, this kook, and I don't want to give him too much.
Man, they finna be marching on the river saying white lives matter. Y'all let through. Y'all see some white folks finna hate black people. I hope y'all know it.
First it was Elisa Fletcher.
Let me take this shit back to racism. I hope y'all ready.
We're gonna stop right there. So people are saying like, you know, like, listen, I'm not making any excuses for this kook. I'm not, and this is exactly what I said. Somebody replied to people who are angry. Okay, so I said this. People are like, you know, black man killed white people and all. Listen, first of all, I do not condone this behavior at all. But y'all gonna see they want lawlessness so bad. And I'm gonna prove to you how they want it. Okay, but here you have a bunch of people who these people aren't normal, who just go and start shooting people no matter what the race is. Okay, no matter what the race is, they're not normal. This isn't about they want the race war so bad. They do. They really do. And I could see how it could happen. I can, but these are demons. They are, because you can't fathom and understand why would somebody act like this. This is to put people in a position of, we don't know what else to do. We need the government to help us. Okay. Then they could probably federal. I don't know what would be the next step, but there is a reason for this. But hold on. So what I said was, I'm not about to make any excuses for this monster, but that's just it. These are not people at this point. These are demons in human form. This is not normal and should not be looked and should be looked at as spiritual warfare. And should be looked at as the spiritual warfare it is. With that said, they should have ended this demon. Absolutely. They definitely should have. Because that when somebody, okay, they shoot black. I don't care about none of that. I'm sorry. Please excuse me. You know, I might sound a little mean, but when you have somebody walking in and just shooting people randomly, they don't care about none of that either. They tell them I'm doing this for racism or whatever. This demon is crazy. That doesn't solve anything. They're not fighting for racism. They just want to shoot people. And they will shoot me too. They will put one right in me too. End them. If you catch them, they're armed and dangerous. End them. Yeah. They're armed and dangerous, but they didn't end them. They didn't end them. Okay. Now, you want to know why I say they want this? Some of y'all already saw this yesterday.
Things will go into effect, and people need to be aware of this.
Okay, so there's going to be a siren in the background because the person who's putting this together, I understand why they did it, but it's kind of annoying because you kind of can't hear everything that they're saying. But this is the sheriff in Illinois, basically sounding the purge siren. You might as well say, but it's not him sounding it. He's just letting people know what's getting ready to go down. All right.
As of January 1st, 2023, the following things will go into effect, and people need to be aware of this. It abolishes cash bail for almost every offense. This includes, but isn't limited to, kidnapping, armed robbery, second-degree murder, drug-induced homicide, aggravated DUI, threatening a public official, and aggravated...
I knew that was going to happen. Sorry, y'all. I knew that was going to happen. Oh, my God. Somebody needs to tell me how to make that not happen. That's so annoying.
Aware of this. It abolishes cash bail for almost every offense. This includes, but isn't limited to, kidnapping, armed robbery, second-degree murder, drug-induced homicide, aggravated DUI, threatening a public official, and aggravated fleeing and eluding. Offenders released on electronic monitoring have to be in violation for 48 hours before law enforcement can act. They could almost drive to Alaska before we can even look for them. It denies victims their constitutional rights. And keep this in mind, businesses and homeowners. Officers will no longer be able to remove trespassers from your residence or your businesses. Someone could decide to live in your shed, and all we can do is give them a ticket. You have to decide what level of force is required to remove them and whether or not it's legal. This is a massive threat to the residents of Orland Park, Cook County, and Illinois.
I just needed you to let that marinate for a second. You have a place in Illinois in January. They are removing cash bail. And for all these offenses, some including second-degree murder, and he said, and are not limited to second-degree murder. Basically, somebody can shoot and kill someone I just had to take the mic off. Like I just had to take the mic off. So I was on a roll too. Like that's nutty. That is so nutty. Thank you. Thank you, Shloy. You look good, dog. Thank you. I had to take the mic off. Like I just had to take the mic off. So you should be able to hear me now. Like that's nutty. All right. You should be able to hear me now. So basically, I'm almost just about to wrap this whole thing up because, sorry, y'all. I don't know why my mic decided to just stop working, but I mean, whatever, you know, nothing's going to stop me from talking. So so there is a discussion I definitely wanted to have. Thank you, Mr. Hunter, for being involved and helping me out. There's a discussion I wanted to finish off with. So we see where these policies are coming from. I live in Philadelphia. We see where they're coming from. Okay, so this brings me to elections. Now we're just going to wrap everything up very quickly. Okay, so and we have midterms coming up. Okay, like I said in my last stream, yes, I am voting for Dr. Oz. No matter how much I talk trash on Dr. Oz, my other option is John Fetterman, a man who says he wants to empty the prisons. And when it sounds insane, right? Like you can't empty prisons, because I still sometimes don't believe the capacity of power that these people have and what they want to do with it. They can, obviously. You got Illinois that's getting ready to do it. All right. So yes, I am voting Republican down ticket. Hear me and hear me well. I am. I'm voting for Doug Mastriano. Yes, this is the man who, when they locked us down, was like, what's going on? This law did not come to my desk. So why are people being locked down? Why are people being mandated to wear a mask? And more mandations, right? I'm voting for Doug Mastriano. Yes, people, I am. I'm voting for him. I'm voting for Dr. Oz, and I'm voting for everything that says Republican. Republicans aren't going to save you. I never said they were. I never said they were. But I need the government off my back. I don't need humans to save me. God is going to save me. The grace saves people. I need y'all off my back. I need criminals to stay in jail. That's what I do need, right? You know what I'm saying? I need to be able to go to work safely. I need the kids to go to school safely. I need schools to be ran in a safe and educating manner, not an indoctrinating manner. Remember that our schools in Philadelphia, they're not opening appropriately. The kids are wearing masks. Everybody's excited about the equitable decision. We made an equitable decision in Philadelphia for the kids to go back and wear a mask because, you know, the black community gets really disparaged with poof. Yeah, whatever. What that's called is fancy racism. Okay, so yes, call me what you want, but that's how I am voting. Yeah, and people will say, oh, you can't trust the politician. Never said I could trust humans. The policies, I need the government off. I don't know how much more simple I can make that for you. So I'm going to talk real quick about this grift that's going on. Again, I'm talking about it on Facebook, Twitter, and then we'll wrap it up with that. To get this poop off my thing too. I don't want him right here. There's this grip going on right now. And look, the people who I'm about to talk about, I have respect for them. I do, but I just need to discuss this. Biggie, it's like, no, I need to discuss this as fast as possible. This is Donnie the Don. Listen, mad respect for Donnie. I do, because she has a right to have her own opinion about anything she wants to say. I do hope one day that she comes to this channel, comes to the show to discuss some of our differences. I had no beef with her. I understand what might have happened here. She probably expected certain things from a certain party and not everything came through. I don't expect everything to come through, but I expect to be left alone. That's all I want. But anyway, And that's what I'm saying, that's what might have happened. I'm going to talk to you about this a little bit from my perspective, because I don't like talking about a person when they're not here to defend themselves. Okay, one day many will hang their heads in shame when they realize that the evil they defended and the heroes they ridiculed. You know, I don't know. I said, so there was like, it's like the lesser of two evils is still evil. So I had, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could listen, I understand what you're saying. I get it, because I was on that tip too. The lesser of two evils. No sound again? No way. So it was like, it's like, nah, the sound is back on. This person's probably watching in like, you're probably watching in delay. I straight took my mic off, so it's picking me up from the camera. I just cannot believe that happened to me, yo. Like, I was on a roll, but it's okay. We'll figure out why that happened even in the first place. Like, for a whole hour, it wasn't like that. Like, and I'm losing people, and okay, we can hear. All right, cool. Bet. So I'm sorry, but not in Pennsylvania. What is happening out here is not a game. It's not a game, okay? The evil that Democrats perpetuate is fatal, so they have to go. They are on a different scale with the nonsense. Yes, I'm not, yes, they are. So the reply was both sides are evil. My other PA friends call out the Republican Party there all the time, just as corrupt. I'm sorry that they're not. I said, no, it was them who locked us down. Closed schools, forced masks, forced mandates, indoctrinated kids, letting criminals out of jails to kill more Black folks, stopping school choice, closing charter schools for equitable reasons, ending our drilling, and I could go on. And Republicans do this too. No. It's like, yeah, I mean, I can't, like, we can't do it like that. Yeah, I mean, so I'm like, no, they don't. I see the policies I stated in PA. I live here, I read the bills, and I see who's signing what. And they do. I respectively disagree with you. I respectively disagree with you. You never convinced me to support that party again. Listen, that's fine. I'm not convincing anybody to support anything. I'm not convincing anybody to do anything. I respect people's free will and free choice. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just telling you what I'm seeing out here and why I can't be involved with this. You know what I'm saying? To effectively control a nation, allow them a little hope by offering them choice, of which your two parties, they would like to submit and they're willing to do, encourage debate only within limited scope of two-party system. They will keep going around circles, arguing between themselves while you implement your agenda, regardless of which party is in power. That's fine, but I've never seen, you know, where I haven't seen, I'm seeing it now in Pennsylvania. We see who's making the policies, who's saying release the criminals, you know what I'm saying? And we see the equitable decisions that are being made. Democrats talk about equitable decisions, this fancy racism. So I'm not saying they're perfect. People always have a way to be corrupt. But I am saying that in the last 3 years, I have watched democratic destruction in the city and state I live in. We can discuss third parties all day. That's fine. I need these Dems to be going now. And then, you know, I think it ended off with, you know, saying something about, you know, your third party is the reason, your parties are the reason why my third parties fail or something like that. And listen, again, no disrespect to her, I understand. I don't have a party. I don't, so yes, Mr. Hunter, policy over emotions, absolutely. I had to learn how to do this. And even still to now, I'm still learning how to do this. I'm not acting like I'm perfect. Because when I say to you, I'm gonna vote for Dr. Oz, this is not out of, you know, I had to tell myself, like, we're always talking about policy over emotions, basically, like you said. And but I was on this grandstand for a moment, like, I'm not voting for him because of my principles. And guess what? What principles? Because if John Fetterman takes over, criminals out, indoctrination of kids all rampant. The boys will be in the girls' sports teams and all that. You know, like how much more? How much more? Right? How much more do I need? What do I need to see that it's not working? And I need to get these people out, get off of my back. And then people say, well, I don't see how, you know, it doesn't seem like any government, you know, even the Republican Party wouldn't be off your back. I'm in a Democratic administration now. I never cared so much about politics. I do now. You know why? Because they knocked on my door. That's why. That is why. We never really cared so much. But this political culture is turning into the power, okay? And I'm not saying that Republicans don't have the opportunity to become corrupt. People do. But right now, I'm saying that I'm in a Democratic situation and their policies are all about power and emotions. That's what their policies are. Who are you? Who do you identify as? We're going to do equitable things for your identity. That's what we're going to do for you. That's what their policies are. So, no, leave me alone. Let me make my own decisions as much as possible, right? Going back here, so then this other grift that I did say I was going to talk about. Another person who, you know, I respect this guy. I do, but yeah, I'm trying to see if I bookmarked that. I probably didn't. Who knows? It might have. Oh. Back. Republicans think just hold on again. We're just gonna look at this. This is anomaly. Again, I respect. I watch his show. I'm sure he's a good person. I have no problem with, you know, I like watching the show. I do. This is some of this stuff. It's like as you know, now's not the time. We got midterms coming up. It's not the time. Republicans think just because Democrats are brainwashed that they can't possibly be getting brainwashed too. It's pretty crazy to see what a spell the orange vaccine salesman has put them under. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, here we go. You know, so true. It's simple. The right was breaking free from left-wing paradigm. They needed an outsider to suck them back in. It worked. Suck them back into what? So they needed an outsider marketing MAGA to suck them back in. It worked. What do you mean? Boom, someone gets it. Bernie Sanders is that to the left. Okay, great. Listen, that's fine. As long as y'all vote, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm at with it. Because what's a socialist Republican, like Democrats at least know they're socialist, Republicans are still in denial. And yeah, that's a good question. What is a socialist Republican? I don't know what government off my back. So that's the grip. Like, well, Donald Trump was selling vaccines. Vaccines have been here before. Policy over emotions. That jab, which I'm not going to stay stuck on, I keep saying to people, it was already in the works. It was always coming. It was always coming. Okay. Y'all were out here begging for mercy. We want to get back to normal. Instead of just going out and opening yourself, we were begging for mercy. So what happened? They gave you mercy. I knew a shot was coming. That's how it works. Just don't mandate it to take it. You want to talk about jabs? You really want to get into jabs? Y'all not really ready for the real jab conversation that has been going on for a long time. So when you see a person like this, it's like, why are you making people? This is exactly what Democrats do to Republicans. This is exactly what leftists do. They want to make you feel bad for what you are involved with and what you believe in. I'm not out here making leftists feel bad. If they believe in gender neutrality, whatever, all that, now when I get mad is when you bring in the kids and you start slicing up stuff. That's when I get mad. But other than that, you believe whatever you want. That's my point. I'm not supposed to be in your life. That's your business. You're not supposed to be in mine, but y'all want to be in mine. That's the problem. Y'all want to be in mine. Donald Trump gave the jab that they mandated. That jab was coming. It was coming. It was coming. Okay? And you're talking about a person who, when y'all talk like this, yo, you give the argument to the leftists. You do. This is how they talk about this man. I hope y'all can hear the sound.
Say, oh, well, don't worry, this will all work itself out.
Meanwhile, this guy's not even a left. He calls himself a Republican. And this is what he says about Donald Trump.
And the donor class can't just sit back on the sidelines and say, oh, well, don't worry, this will all work itself out. They're still going to have to go and put a bullet in Donald Trump. And that's a fact. And the donor class can't just sit back on the sidelines and say, oh, well, don't worry, this will all work itself out. They're still going to have to go and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
Okay, there you go, right? They're still going to have to put a bullet in Donald. Like, is it that? What is it about this guy that gets people on both sides so worked up? What is it? What is it? What is it? And then people want to try to make others feel bad for supporting him. You want to know what I support?
Energy security for ourselves and for our allies. We believe strongly in energy security for ourselves and for our allies. We have become the largest energy producer anywhere on the face of the earth. The United States stands ready to export our abundant, affordable supply of oil, clean coal, and natural gas. OPEC and OPEC nations are, as usual, ripping off the rest of the world. We defend many of these nations for nothing, and then they take advantage of us by giving us high oil prices. Not good. We want them to stop raising prices. We want them to start lowering prices. And they must contribute substantially to military protection from that one. We're not going to put up with it. These horrible prices much longer. Reliance on a single foreign supplier can leave a nation over to extortion and intimidation.
I hate Twitter. I do. They decided that was it, right? Okay. I'm gonna let them have it, especially with everything that's going on with my whole tech, right? But I think we did pretty okay for everything else. So hold on, I'm gonna come back and we're gonna wrap this up. Yep, Mr. Hunter, Trump or DeSantis, one or two options. My own, if you give me that option in primary, I'm picking Trump again. Yeah. Why? Because he must have been doing something correct. And people, myself included, have said, you should have went in there and fired everybody. Really? Your first term, you don't even really know what you're walking into. That goes for everybody. Who knew? Who knew? We didn't know that in 2016, the energy was going to be attacked and going to be the sole, like a very great way to take our freedom is through energy. Okay? None of us knew this. I know this now. You have people saying the only way to deal with this situation, you might have to put a bullet in them. And then people will say, oh, he's part of the, he's working with them. No, you don't get people saying that on television like that. It's okay, and then I'm supposed to believe like, oh, it's just all an act. Nah, that's real hate. What you saw was real hate. Of course, this video, they made it look beautiful with the song and everything, but this was a speech that he gave. And he was actually talking to Germany. He was in the UN talking like this. And he said to them, like, yo, at the end of the video, he's telling them, like, y'all relying on Russia for gas, for oil, y'all have let go of anything y'all had at home, and you're going to see how bad this gets. They have power over you. And they laughed at him. And where are we today? Dark ages in Europe, right? And it all resets right back to the beginning of the conversation, right? So they laughed at him, and then we are 4 years behind on their agenda. And you mean to tell me I'm supposed to be mad at him because he didn't get it all right? I'm sorry. You mean to tell me I'm some sort of sheep because I'll say I'll vote for him again? I absolutely will. I know what I see it. I see that everybody is targeting one person. Why? And I told you everything is set up by design. Everything is it's all connected. It's all connected, right? And they're targeting one person. Okay, and those kind of tweets, we're not even focusing on the real issues. California is showing you where the whole country will be in about 2 years if we don't get our act together. Okay, you could be mad at him or whatever, that's fine. You be mad at Republicans, whatever. Stay focused on who's causing the destruction right now. That's what I'm saying. So we call people sheep. Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, I was telling people, but energy, we were producing oil to the point where we were selling it overseas. And that's why our gas prices were low. If we would have kept on in a clean way, not so destructive way, if we could just do that and you start exporting that, you start bringing money home, then that's when you see like, oh, whoa, school, they're giving out more money for school. They do. That's how you actually start to pay for things without it being coming out of tax dollars. Maybe we could lower some inflation that way. We're the big things. We're producing. Russia's doing it right now. Russia's dollar, their ruble is Okay. They are doing more producing at home, and so their inflation percentage is being reported to be decreasing. And here we are in all kinds of conflicts and demise. You know, we're declining, and we know who's causing this. We see, and one thing I will say about the Republicans is none of them signed on to that Inflation Reduction Act. And I was like, that's because that thing is the worst thing ever. That you couldn't even get a Lindsey Graham to put his name on it. And he pretty much, I feel like, signs for everything. Right? I'm not fighting for a two-party system. I'm fighting for right now. In November, I know how I'm doing. So that's the point that I'm trying to make here. I just feel like whatever gripes you have with, you know, things didn't get done the way how they were supposed to or whatever, that's fine. You have a right to feel how you want to feel, but making other people feel bad for understanding that in the end, they are in control of their own life, but because right, the government isn't going to save you, no. But hey, I like the policies that come out of this guy, so I'm ready to support him. I'm ready to see that the FBI raided his house, and a month later they still. What did they get? What did they get? You know what I'm saying? They didn't. I don't know what they got. Do I think he will have another election? I do, but I think it might be from jail. Yeah, Steve Bannon just got. You know, they put Steve Bannon in jail yesterday. I have to look into what exactly they're saying he did. You know, these people, they can draw up anything. We know that. So let's not act like they're not doing it now. We know that. People have been screaming about the FBI. Ron Paul, everybody. But now when it comes to this party, it's like, no, but they're not doing it now. They're good guys now. Yeah. Yeah. Steve Bannon had to turn himself in. He's in jail right now. So I believe Donald Trump will run for presidency, probably in a jail. I do. And I will vote for him right in jail. God, Shay, that's so brainwashed. You would vote for him in jail? Absolutely. What kind of symbol you think that is? They wanted him going so bad they put him in jail. I wouldn't. I'd be like, oh man, I know how these people, these powerful, evil people work. Put him away. Put him away. Put him in jail. How would that look, right? How would that look? I vote for him right in there. I would. That means he had balls. He had something. They had to break him up. They had to break him. That's why. When they want to get where they're going, they will break you. So if I'm seeing a person that they keep trying to break like that and somehow still make it on the ballot, oh yeah. Yeah, because what is it that he's trying to mess up for y'all that y'all had to go through all that? Yeah, sometimes that's where the boldness has to come in. Call me whatever you want, but we need to realize where we are right now as a country and what it would take to get back the country if we can, if it's God's will. But in the end, God is in control. But in the end, when you talk about taking back the country, talk about standing in truths that people have the right to make their own decisions. But yet man is man and woman is woman. These are all, God gave us free will. So I stand for the free will of God given to me. I freely stand for it. These people want to make decisions for you. We'll leave off with that, guys. So thank you for watching. Thank you for dealing with my technical difficulties. Oh my God, I don't know what happened to my microphone, guys. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. This is what we talk about on the channel. I'm gonna parse this out and redistribute it out for anybody who missed it. I just can't thank you guys enough, guys. Step out into the world. Don't forget, stand up for the truth. Anything that's trying to attack you is because maybe you're trying to do something really good and the entities don't want you to. Okay, you guys have a good one. I'll see you at the next video. Bye.